You are now listening to the Vitalize Podcast. Hey yo, what up, family? Welcome back to the Vitalize Podcast. You're here with your friendly neighborhood host, Mr. Marcus Black, and I'm so incredibly excited, elated, and ecstatic to be here with you today. And boy, do we got something big that I want to talk about today. Matter of fact, you may have heard about it unless you have been living under a rock. You've definitely heard about the recent events of none other than a young man and tremendous athlete superstar, Mr. Shedeur Sanders, son of legendary Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime. And I really wanted to have a conversation just about everything that just transpired. Maybe not the conversation you think. I will be breaking down some thoughts and some of the things that I think about said situation, but at the same time, I want to share what it means to you. So if you're like, what does this have to do with me? I don't even like sports. You ain't got to like sports to take the lesson. Listen, stick around because I promise I got something for you. So we're going to talk about it. And we want to talk about you climbing your own mountains, right? Climbing mountains, the Shedeur Sanders situation, the title of this episode, Climbing Mountains. Some of you got your own mountains to climb. And I want to talk about the way to respond to adversity when you find yourself in a situation like Shedeur Sanders. So that's what we're going to get into. But listen, before I do, make sure you tap, share. Sharing is caring. Send this out. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we here, and subscribe. Tag me on Instagram at MBlackSpeaks, all the things. You can also tag me on Twitter, TikTok, wherever. I'm at MBlackSpeaks everywhere. So now that that's out the way, if you're here for the very first time, no such thing as a second-time guest. You family now. Welcome to the family. I'm so glad to have you here. Whether you agree, I'm sure this will be a hot-button topic. Many people that typically are in my community agree with the things that I say and the heart behind the things that I say. But maybe this one is a little bit more controversial to you. Maybe you don't like this kid. There's so many people celebrating this kid, talking about he needed to be humbled. And I'm like, okay, all right, sure. If you say so. So, we'll have some difference of opinion there because you don't say that about everybody. You pick and choose. And it's funny how the crabs in a bucket mentality can take effect even at the superstar level, meaning I'm cool with there being superstars in my league, but I don't want any one star to shine a little too bright. And we know that Coach Prime is a larger-than-life personality himself, and he's rubbed off that confidence, uber self-confidence, self-worth, self-love onto his sons, and they carry themselves as such. And for whatever reason, the world does not want to see that. The world doesn't want to see uber happy, content, successful, confident people. Make it make sense. And that's why so many people like yourself who know for yourself that you should hold your head up high. You should hold your shoulders up. You should stick your chin up. Shoulders, chest out. You know that is how you should move, but you don't move that way for fear of being judgment and being misunderstood. I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh, Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. So many people are so afraid of being misunderstood by people who don't even care about you that you don't show up in the world. You don't show up with your gift. You don't show up shining your light. You dim that light because you don't want to shine too bright. Why? Taylor Swift told you this, because people throw rocks at things that shine. God forbid you be misunderstood. So this puts us in an interesting crux, right? Because for those of you who don't know, I said you've been living under a rock, but maybe you just don't like sports, and so you don't understand what's happening. Basically, there's a young kid, the son of an NFL legend, Shedeur Sanders. I've been watching this guy since he was a small kid. long before he ever got to high school, they had a family show that used to air on national television. My wife and I used to love watching this show. There's one show that everybody loves to talk about. I remember Shedeur being a little kid and he was crying before a football game. Him and his brother Shiloh's laughing at him. I remember this. Like, they were little kids, and to watch him grow all the way up, to keep up with his story, to watch him sprout up and become tall, and to see him become a star in high school there in Cedar Hill, Texas, and to see him go from there to my home state, Mississippi, M.I. crooked letter, and to go to Jackson State, D I love, and to show up and totally transform that program. They just won a national championship this year, and that is a direct remnant of Coach Prime and what he brought to the table there. And then to see him transfer to Colorado and just put on for his family to showcase his talents. He basically ascended all the way up the draft board, where many people debated whether or not he was the number one pick in the NFL draft, 7 rounds. And many people thought he'd be the number one pick. And some people debated top 5 for sure. From a talent standpoint, this is where the debate was. And there's a lot of people say he's not that good, but then they didn't have any reason to say it because his statistics, his numbers, his talent, his measurables, his intangibles, all of those things measure up to show greatness. So the only reason you have to not like him is that he's a larger than life personality like his father. And so if you don't like him, just say you don't like the fact that you feel like he's not humble enough. But what is humility actually? I hate that for whatever reason, people have misconstrued self-confidence and self-worth as arrogance. That's so dumb to me, because this kid knows he's great and he says, I work hard to be great. I literally trained with the greatest quarterback of all time, the Tom Brady, for north of 10 years. Yes, I believe I'm great because I put in the work to be great. Not because my last name is Sanders, not because my dad is who my dad is, because I fought for this. I put blood, sweat, and tears into this. And as a result, I have now ascended, and I believe in my gift and my ability to go and do what I need to do to shine bright. And people don't like it. That's insane to me. But that's why so many people live under a rock. So many people live with the lights dim, because you don't want attention on you, because you don't want people judging you. I have clients that I work with one-on-one, and so many of them are like, their biggest fear in the world is somebody misunderstanding their confidence as arrogance. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so sad. Because can I tell you something? Anybody who would say that you are arrogant just because you believe in yourself is not somebody who cares about you anyway. Anybody who would denigrate your character wasn't for you to begin with. They didn't rock with you. What my man Trent Shelton tell y'all, my bro, that's my bro, my mentor, said, everybody that's riding with you ain't riding for you. I'm going to say that again louder for the people in the back. He said, everybody that's riding with you is not riding for you. So what he's saying is there's some people that's right up under you that is waiting on your downfall. They're waiting for you not to succeed so they can say, I knew you wasn't that great. You was never that great to begin with, because that makes them feel better about their own insecurities. So many people in the world never shine their light. I had this conversation with Darren Waller online a couple years back. Shout out to Darren Waller, by the way. Incredible human being, overcome so much adversity in his life. He said in this conversation, so many people misconstrue confidence and arrogance. He said, arrogance is a posture. Confidence is an attitude. Whoa, what? Let me break it down. Break it down. Confidence is an attitude. I feel good about me and my ability to show up competently and confidently to do a job with my skill set. That's confidence. I should feel like I'm going to crush it. Shedeur Sanders felt like I'm going to crush it. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to crush it. But arrogance is a posture, not an attitude. Arrogance is sitting high on an untouchable throne and looking down on other people like you're better than them. You're better than them. You get away from me, you lowly scrubs. I don't want you around me. I don't want you in my presence. That's arrogance. And I've never seen Coach Prime, Deion, Bucky, Deion Jr., Shedeur, Shiloh, Shalom. No, I've never seen a Sanders look down on a person and treat themselves as untouchable. Seen them take so many pictures, sign so many autographs, be available, be right in the middle of the people, taking people's phone, recording videos, giving people memories. So if their behavior shows I'm for the people, then why is it that you think they're arrogant? Because they believe in themselves, because people don't like to see other people be uber confident. And so to catch all of you guys up, because the NFL executives and owners have decided no one's bigger than the shield. Nobody's bigger than the shield. There was a point where people were arguing, well, his talent may have been inflated because his dad was his coach and put him in position to look a certain good, a level of good. Debate if you may, but at this point, I am recording this on live. The draft is happening actively as we're recording this. Day 3, round 4 of a 7-round draft where a man was projected to go in the top first 5 picks is now still available on the board, undrafted on day 3 in round 4. Has been passed over 100 times at this point. And it's just interesting. It's interesting that we find ourselves in this place, because the question you got to ask yourself is why? There's so many people who, two sides of the same coin. One side of the people are celebrating, that's what you get for being so confident. Maybe this will humble you, all as if he wasn't already humble, because as if he wasn't already showing up for people, giving to people, helping people, like doing everything that he could to be relatable. But at the same time, like just being the son of a star and a star in his own right that shines bright. Like, what do you want him to say when you ask, do you think you're the best? No, I'm not the best. Like, that's not humility. That's false humility. If you believe, matter of fact, let me make it real. Let me make it more personable for you. I personally believe I am one of the best communicators on planet Earth. I believe that. Doesn't make me arrogant to believe that. That's why when people hire me to come in, say I got an audience full of hurting people that need hope. Can you do it? Are you the man for the job? And I say, I'm your guy. I promise you, you won't regret hiring me. I'm going to make it do what it do, and I'm blowing the roof off. I hope you got insurance. It's not arrogance. It's not arrogance. That's confidence. Because you know what I'm going to do after? Take pictures with everybody who wants to, shake hands, exchange information, connect. So I use me as an example to show. But everybody doesn't like that. Everybody doesn't like me sharing my wins and celebrating the things that I have going on, and I can't do anything about that. I refuse. I spend so much time in trauma, abuse. I'm not dimming my light anymore. I'm going to shine it as brightly as I can, because we live in a dark world that desperately needs light. So there's people celebrating this kid's downfall and his slide. They're celebrating his adversity. They're celebrating a moment where he threw a major party for all his friends and family to come see him fulfill his childhood dream, playing a child's game for pay on Sundays as a professional athlete. And everybody went home that night sad and a little dejected, because not only did he not get drafted in the top 5, he didn't get drafted in the first round, over 30 picks. And there's a lot of people who are celebrating that and laughing, ha, 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 ha. And all that is a reflection of their own hearts and their own insecurities. That's what that is. Flip side of the same coin, there's another group of people who are pretty discouraged right now. They're discouraged because they're like, this isn't even me, and I feel heartbroken for a kid who put his heart and soul into a game, put his body on the line week after week, and earned the right to hear his name called. And because you don't like to see uber confident people and you feel like that star shines a little too bright, you want to dim it. Since he won't dim it himself, you want to dim it for him. And now here we are, day 3, round 4, and he's still on the board, undrafted. Some people think he might go all the way through the draft undrafted. I don't know. It might happen. Personally, as a Raider fan, Raider Nation for life, cuz. As a Raider fan, I hope that we will pull the trigger and bring him in. Will he start now? No, we got Geno, but to have him in an organization where he can develop for a year and come and solidify your future at quarterback, especially somebody who was projected a top 5 pick, and now it's like 4 or 5, 4th round, 5th round, and you have an opportunity to do that? Are you kidding me? You got to do it. And that's what I feel, and that's what I hope happens. But let me get to what I want to give to you. I learned some lessons in the Shedeur Sanders situation, and I've learned them over the course of my own life when facing adversity. I find myself like a little disheartened because this definitely shouldn't be so. It shouldn't have gone this way. But at the same time, I don't find myself discouraged because I don't find him discouraged. Because if you are a follower of him, you see him saying, like, listen, God still got a plan for me, and I'm trusting that. Listen, it's another opportunity. Today is a new day. Whatever happens is out of my control. I'm going to go with the cards dealt to me, and I'm going to go and do what I was built to do. That's all of his posts, all of his communication. Hey, this didn't go the way we wanted it to, but that's okay. Adversity is a part of it. I'm just going to come back stronger. I'm going to fight harder. And there's some lessons that I've seen him live out and some lessons that I've learned climbing my own mountains, the mountain of despair, the mountain of abuse, the mountain of poverty, all these mountains that I have had to, the mountain of depression, my goodness, the mountain of anxiety, the mountains that have held me back. I've had to climb again and again and again. And I learned some lessons that I'm going to give to you over the next few minutes that you can learn from this situation that will help you when you face your own mountain so that you can go and find your way to success. So how you climb that mountain and overcome the adversity, I'm going to give them to you and I'm going to rattle them off. But number one, I got 7 of these, by the way, 7 ways to overcoming any adversity and climbing your mountain. And many of these are taken from both my personal story and watching how Shedeur, this young athlete, budding star, has responded to the adversity right in front of him. And number 1 is to embrace the challenge. Embrace the challenge. I saw an ESPN analyst say, there's a leader of an NFL organization right there, night 1. When this young man was projected a top 5 pick and he didn't hear his name called that night at all, after over 3 hours of draft time, he didn't hear his name called, and his entire party had to go home sad, deflated, because he didn't hear his name called. He wasn't drafted in round 1, and he could have easily disappeared into a hole and cried and sulked in his misery. But you know what he did? He came on the camera. He addressed his crowd and said, hey, guys, this isn't exactly the result we wanted, and I understand, but we're going to be okay. Whatever happens moving forward, whether it be tomorrow or the next day, we just going to keep working. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to show up, and we're going to get out here, and we're going to do what we do best. He faced the challenge, and so many of us don't ever see the success that we want to see because the first sign of adversity, we tuck our tails and run. Ain't no cowards over here. It's not easy to look at a giant mountain of adversity in front of you and say, you know what? I think I'm going to climb that thing. I've actually climbed mountains, and it was the most terrifying thing I've ever did. And I had no desire to do it. But you must be courageous enough to face whatever the mountain it is that you face, because in doing that, you embrace said challenge. And embracing the challenge, you see this as an opportunity for growth. And that's everything I see Shedeur Sanders doing right now. That's everything I've done in my own life. I remember in my lowest moment, I got fired from a job in downtown Oklahoma City. No fault of mine. I was a temporary employee. They let me go. I had no car. I had no way to drive. They took my belongings. I had nowhere to carry them. The security escorted me out like I was a criminal, and there was not even a performance reason that I got let go. And we put my belongings in a Walmart sack that they pulled out of somebody's trash can, and I'm now walking down the highway in a suit because my wife and I share a car, and she can't get off to come get me. I got no ride home. And in that moment, I was just smiling ear to ear in 100-degree weather in a suit, sweating it out. And people are like, have you lost your mind? And I said, no, I haven't lost my mind. I just know I don't know how this story ends, but I know that it's not going to end here. And I know that wherever this leads to is going to lead to a greater version of me in the future. And guess what? It did. Because I didn't run from it. I didn't cry about it. I embraced the challenge. And as a result of embracing the challenges you face, it give you opportunities to grow and develop character that will sustain you wherever you will go. embrace the challenge. Number one. Number two is to stay optimistic. Stay optimistic. You must maintain a positive outlook on potential situations rather than dwelling on the problem. On day 2 of the NFL draft, which was yesterday, Shedeur Sanders made a tweet. And in the tweet, he said, no matter what happens today, I'm built for this. He also had another message where he said, hey, God is good. God is still good. God is amazing. I'm living my best life. He could have easily focused on, okay, now, I get it. Maybe debatable first round, I slipped. It happens. Second round, third round, all these rounds passing, and I'm hearing every name called but mine, including people that we all know I'm better than. Come on now, tell the truth and shame the devil. Yet to still maintain a positive outlook is the hardest thing to do in the face of adversity, but it is necessary if you're going to get through the adversity. So just like him, just like me in my own life, in your life, if you find yourself facing a mega adversity, you got to not allow the adversity that you're facing to be so big and so traumatic that you feel like throwing in the towel. Can I tell you something? You're a human being, not a machine. So your morale has to be to a certain level, and choosing positivity, choosing to go that way is always going to put you in a position to do better. It's going to put you in a position to not find yourself having your morale depleted, and it's going to give you the energy to continue showing up when you don't feel like it, even when things don't go your way. So you must stay optimistic. And you're like, it's hard though. It is hard. Force yourself, right? And I'm going to get there. I'm coming there. Number 3, after choosing to stay optimistic, is to seek support. Seek support. Reach out to friends and family for encouragement when you need it. On day 2 of the draft, there's a photo that was posted of Shedeur, Dion, and Shiloh, both brothers, hopefuls to be drafted, and him sitting together, not with us, surrounded by a big, massive party of friends and family and cameras and ready to celebrate, but just the 3 of them. And I guarantee you, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, is a father first before he is anything else. And I guarantee you, Coach Prime looked his son in his eyes and reminded him of his worth, reminded him this is small things to a giant, reminded him he's been overcoming adversity since he was a small child, and reminded him of every good thing about himself so that he will not let this situation break him. Let me tell you a secret. Who you surround yourself with in moments of adversity determine whether you fail or whether you succeed. Because if you don't have people around you who really rocking with you and riding for you, not just riding with you, you will not succeed. You won't do it. You must have people in your life. And it ain't got to be everybody. You don't got to have a big circle, but you need a fine few who really rock with you, who gonna really have your back, who gonna really hold you down, who gonna really tap in, be there for your mind, your heart, your soul, to remind you, to silence the lies of the enemy, the adversary that will cause you to believe that you're less than, that you're inferior, that maybe they're right about you. You gotta pattern interrupt that negative stinking thinking and show up differently because of the right people around you. And I guarantee you, that young man got more support around him in his ear for the positive than anybody else could ever imagine. And because of that, he gonna be all right. Hey. And if you do the same and surround yourself, you're gonna be all right too. Number 4, practice gratitude. Practice gratitude. Focus on what you do have rather than what you don't. One of the best things you can do for yourself in a difficult time is to focus on what you do have rather than what you don't. And don't just focus on it. Make a list. I make a gratitude list every day. And even though I'm not necessarily where I want to be, and I'm not where I'm going to be, I'm not where I used to be, and that's worth celebrating. Celebrate. Gratitude. God, thank you for this day. Thank you for waking me up. He's posted today a new day, a new opportunity for me to get to show up and do what I was put on the earth to do and play a game in which I love. It's an opportunity. If he don't hear his name called in the draft, he will have a chance to sign with whatever team he so desires and have an opportunity to still play a game that he loves. We're talking about a child's game that you get paid to play. Perspective is everything, which I'm coming around the mountain. But before we get there, number 5, learn from the experience. Reflect on the adversity and understand what it is you can take away from this. And don't just take away the negative that, oh, people are doing this, people are hating on me, they don't want to see me win. That might be true, but that's not the lesson you learn. The lesson you learn is that you're stronger than you thought you were. The lesson you learn is that you're resilient on the inside. The lesson that you learn is that this is not going to break you. You ain't been broke before in all the years you've been living, and this won't do it either. And all it's going to do is make you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And learn the lesson, because the blessing is in learning the lesson so that you can continue traveling up the path and climbing your mountain. Number 6, as we get ready to land the plane, is keep your perspective. Keep your perspective. That's what I was getting at a moment ago. This is a child's game. So many people up in arms, and I can't believe this happened, and this is so sad, and this is heartbreaking, this is devastating. It's not devastating for this young man. He's the son of a literal king on earth. Coach Prime, he's good. He ain't hurting for no money. In the perspective, in the grand scheme of things, he's about to still go and play a child's game for pay and make a lot of money doing it and go and now have a chip on his shoulder and a drive in his heart and a fuel to his fire even greater to showcase the greatness that lives inside of him to prove everybody who doubted him wrong. Put it into perspective. I hear you. Do what you may. You might be doing me wrong. Your adversity might be doing you wrong. People may be doing you wrong. Things may be tearing you down, but put it in perspective. How many millions of people didn't wake up today? But you woke up in time rather than out of time. And because you woke up in time and not out of time, that's worth being grateful for. Put it into perspective. Yeah, you had a flat tire. Yeah, you had a setback. Yeah, you had something break down. Yeah, you had a financial bill unexpectedly. Yeah, you got broken up with. Yeah, you got the divorce. Yeah, you lost the job, but you're still living. It's still a heart beating inside your chest. And that's a reason for you to keep living and to keep showing up. So put it into perspective. It didn't take your life, so it did not take you, and it is a new day and a new opportunity to live your best life. And number 7 is simply this: stay resilient. Stay resilient. Stay resilient. How do I stay resilient when I feel like quitting? Put one foot in front of the other. How do I level up when I feel like quitting? Put one foot in front of the other. How do I face the world and the embarrassment and the shame of me falling and the people making a mockery of me? Put one foot in front of the other. Because guess what? Eric Thomas said this: small steps lead to great distances. Take a small step, take a small step, take a small step, because Marcus Black said slow steps are better than no steps. And if you keep taking one step, 2 step, red step, blue step on your way to where you're going, you will eventually realize you ain't where you used to be, and you came a long way, and your dreams begin to come a reality. You know how I know? Because I faced every adversity imaginable, and I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still moving. I'm still growing. I'm still going. I'm still building. I'm still overcoming. I'm still shining bright as I was created to. And I'm here to just encourage you to do the same, because you can. I'm here to encourage you to learn from Shedeur and his attitude and his mantra, the confidence to say, no matter how this circumstance goes, I'm still showing up and I'm still shining bright. M. Black Speak said, I'm still showing up and I'm still shining bright. I can, you can too. So you got to believe it and you got to achieve it. And you go put a foot in front of the other again and again and again, and you can weather any storm, and you can climb any mountain, and you can build the life that you love to live, and you do it because you can. Vitalize.